Shanti, this is Sakhar Murli of 13th September 2025. Morning Murli Baptada Madhuban. Essence, so children, first of all, have this conscience, I as souls and macabre interest. And I have to think how to remove that rust from the soul. For as long as the needle is rusty, the magnet will not be able to attract it. Question: what efforts do you children have to make at this most elevated conference age in order to become the most elevated human beings? Answer: the effort of become a karmati. Your intellect should not be pulled by any karmic relationships. This means that no karmic bondage should pull you. Your total connection should be with the one Father. Your heart should not be attracted to the ones anyone's. Make such efforts. Don't waste your time gossiping. Practice staying in the remembrance. Song: Awaking, oh brides awaking. The new age is about to come. Om Shanti, you spiritual children, your souls hear the song through your bodies. The Father is now making you children the soul conscious. You are receiving this knowledge of the soul. Not a single person is in this world has the true knowledge of the souls. So, how could they have the knowledge of the Supreme Soul? Only the Father sits and explains this. It has been through the body that this is explained to you. A soul cannot do anything without a body. You souls know where you reside and whose children you are. You now know this accurately. All actors have a part. Your intellects know when the souls of the different regions come here. The Father doesn't explain to you the details. You explains everything wholesale. Wholesale means that he gives you such and such explanations in just a second, that you know everything about how your parts are recorded from the beginning of the golden age to the end. You now know who the Father is and what his part is in this drama. You also know that the Father is the highest on high. He is the bestower of the salvations for all, the remover of the sorrow and the bestower of happiness. The birthday of Shiva is remembered. It can definitely be said the birthday of Shiva is the highest of all. It is especially in the Bharat that people celebrate his birthday. In a country, stamps are made of those elevated peoples whose past history is good. Now these have celebrated the birth of Shiva. It should be explained whose birthday is most elevated, whose stamp should be created. They make stamps of the sages and holy men of the Sikh, Muslim and English philosophers, just as they made a stamps of King Rana, Pratap, etc. In fact, there should be a stance of the fathers who is the bestower of salvations of all. If your fathers didn't come at this time, how could there be a salvation? Everyone is wandering in the extreme depth of hell. The highest of high is the shivbaba, the purified. There are many temples of Shiva built in the high places because he is the highest on high. The Father comes himself and makes you people of the Bharat into the master of heaven. He grants salvations when he becomes. Therefore, let there be a remembrance of that. Father, you should think about what type of stamps to create it to Shivbaba. On the path of devotions, they created a lignum at his image. He is the highest on high soul. The highest on high temples is considered to be that of Shiva. Somnath, the Lord of Nectar, is the temple of Shiva. Because the people of the Bharat are Tamopradhan, they don't know who Shiva is. They don't know the occupations of the one they worship. King Rana Pratap fought battles, but that was violence. At this time, all are doubly violent. To engage in the vice, to use the sword of the lust, is also violence. It is the Lakshmi and Narayan who are doubly non-violent. If a people had this full knowledge, they could create the stamps. They are meaningful. In the golden age, they have stamps on Lakshmi and Narayan. They don't have knowledge of the Shivbabas there. The stamps would definitely be those the most elevated Lakshmi and Narayan. Even now there should be a dead singing stamps of the Bharat. The highest on high is Trimurti Shiva. His stamp should remain internally because he gives the imperishable throne of the kingdom to Bharat. The Supreme Father, the Supreme Source makes Bharat into heaven. Among you too, there are many who forget that the Baba is making us into a master of heaven. Maya makes you forget this because of not knowing the Father. The people of the Bharat has been making many mistakes. No one knows what Shivbaba does. They don't even understand the meaning of Shiv Shanti. No one except the Father has this knowledge. The Father is the now telling you children, have mercy for others as well for yourself. The teacher is teaching you. This is his mercy for you. That one says, I am a teacher and I am a teaching you. In fact, this place should not be called Pathshala, place of study, because this is a very big university. All the rest have false name. No one those colleges are for the whole universe. Only this university is the one Father who grants salvations to whole world. In fact, there is only this university, and it is through this that everyone passes into a liberations and liberations in life. That is this they can attain the peace and happiness. This is a universe. This is why Baba says don't be afraid. This is something that has to be explained. It generally happens when no one listens to anyone during an emergency. It is a rule of the peoples by people. In no other regions do not they have kingdom from their start. Those people simply come to establish their regions. They rule their kingdom when there are hundreds of thousands their own regions. Here, there the Father is establish a kingdom for the whole universe. This is something to be explained. He is establishing the deity's kingdom at this most elevated confidence stage. Baba has explained to you that you can hold the dark blue pictures of Shri Krishna, Shri Nara and Shri Rama in your hands, and explains why Shri Krishna is Sham and Sundar. He was beautiful, so how did he become ugly? Birth was a heaven and it is no hell. Hell means ugly and heavens means beautiful. The kingdom of the Rama is called the day and the kingdom of the Ravans is the night. So you can explain to them why the deities have been portrayed as a dark blue. The Father sits here and explains that you are now the most auspicious conference stage, whereas others are not. You are now sitting here at the confluence stage and are making effort to become the most elevated. You have no connections with vicious and pure human beings. You have not yet reached your karmatic stage, and this is why your hearts become attached to karmic. In order to become a karmatic, you need to pilgrimage of remembrance. The Father says you are souls, you should have so much love for the Supreme Father. Oh, Baba is teaching us. No one says the intelligence Maya repeatedly makes you body conscious. Since you have understand that Shiv Baba is talking to you souls, there should be that attractions and happiness. A needle that doesn't have that slightly rest will very quickly be attracted to a magnet. If there is a little rust, the needles wouldn't be pulled. There wouldn't be that attraction. A magnet will pull a needle when there isn't any rust. You children can only have the attractions when you stay on a pilgrimage of remembrance. If there is any rust, the needles can't be pulled. Each of you needles can understand that you will be attracted when you become a completely pure. There isn't that the pull, because your souls are covered in rust. When you stay in remembrance a great deal, your sins can be burned away. Acha, if someone commits a sin, now he accumulates a 100-fold punishment and dead souls become a rust. Dead souls will then be unable to remember the Father. Consider yourselves to be souls and remember the Father. When souls forget to have remembrance, they become rusty, and this is why there isn't that the pull of the love. Once the rust is removed, there will be a love and happiness too. Your face will remain very cheerful. You have to become like them in the future. If you don't do service, you continue to talk about all the old rotten things of the past. This breaks your intellect's yoga away from the Father. Any sparkle there might have been also disappears. There isn't the slightest love for the Father. Only those who have a very good remembrance of the Father's would have love for him. The Father is also attracted to such a child. This child does the very good service and also stay in a yoga. So the Father showers the child with love. Such a child would pay attention to his sins to make sure he doesn't commit any sins. If you don't remember the Father, how can the rest be removed? The Father says, keep your chart so that the rest can be removed. If you want to become a Sato Pradhan from Tamo Pradhan, you have to remove the rest. Some rest is removed, but the souls then become a rusty against, and there is a 100-fold punishment. When you don't remember the Father, you are committed one sin or another. The Father says, unless the rest is removed, you will be able to come to me. They will then have to punishment. Souls experience a sleeper and their status is also destroyed. What inheritance would you receive from the Father then? Don't perform any such acts that make your souls even more trusty. First of all, be concerned about removing the rust from yourself. If you don't think about this, the Father understands that it is not your fortune. You have that qualifications. One has to have a good character. The characters of the Lakshmi and Nara are the remember. People of today speak of their own characters in the front of Lakshmi and Nara idols. They don't know shivbabas at all. Only he grants salvations. They go to sannyasis, but the bestower of salvations for all is only the one. The fathers establish a heaven, and you then have to go to town. No one's but the fathers can purify you. Sannyasis make a small trench and sit in that. If they want to go into the Gangas and such, they would become a cleanse because they consider the Gangas to be purified. People want to peace, but their parts will only finish at the end when they go home. The home of our souls is the land belonging to sound Nirman Dham. How can there be a peace here? People do tapasya. They also have to act, do they not? They do that and sit in the silence. They don't know the Shiv Babas at all. All of that belongs to the path of devotion. It is only at this one's the most elevated conferences that the fathers comes here. Souls become clean and then go into the liberations in life. Those who make effort will then rule. However, those who don't make any effort will experience a punishment. In the beginning, you were giving visions of punishment. At the end too, you will have visions. You will see how you did follow Srimad and what your conditions has become. You children have become benefactors. Give the introductions of the fathers and creations. When the needle is soaked in a paraffin, the rust is removed. So rust is removed from the soul to be by staying in the remembrance of the Father. Otherwise, it means there is no attractions or love for the Father. All the love is divided to friends and relatives, etc. People go and stay with their friends and relatives. There is such a vast difference between the company of those who are rusty and the company you have here. By keeping the company of anyone's rusty, you become a rusty yourself. Fathers come simply to remove the rust. It is only by having a remembrance of him that you will become a pure. You souls have been covered with a lot of rust for a half of cycle. The magnetic says, now remember me. The more yoga your intellects have with me, the more the rest you souls will hardly be removed. The new world has to be created first. There is a very small tree of deities in the golden niche, then it grows larger. They come to you and here continue to make effort. No one of your kingdoms comes from up above. Those of other regions come from up above. Your kingdom is being prepared here. Everything depends on how you study. Everything depends on how much you follow the Father's Srimad. When your intellect's yoga is divided outside, your souls become a rusty. Before coming here, they have settled all their karmic accounts, dead, alive, and settles everything. Sannyasis renounce everything and yet they remember everything for such a long time afterwards. You children know that you have now received the company of the truth. Tell them we stay in a remembrance of the Father. We do not college of our friends and relatives. We live at home with our families and do everything and also remember the Father. You have to become a pure and also teach others that it is in their fortune they continue to follow this path. If they don't belong to the Brahman clan, how could they go into the deity clan? You are giving very easy points which can instantly sit in the someone's intellects. A picture of those with the intellects that have no love at the time of the destructions is also very clear. You no longer have solitary. When there was the deity's solitary, that was the called heaven. However, there is now the rule of the people by the people. This is nothing wrong in the explaining these things. However, it is only when your rust is removed that your arrows can strike someone. First of all, make effort to remove the rust. You have to check your characters and see what you are doing day and night. While cooking and making chapatis in the kitchen, stay in as much remembrance as possible. When you go drawing, stay in a remembrance. The Father knows everyone's stage. When you souls gossip, you become even more rusty. Don't listen to gossips. Acha. The sweetness, beloved, long last, now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father. Baptada, the spiritual father, says Namaste to spiritual children. The spiritual children say Namaste to spiritual father. Essence Vadharna, one just as the Father in the form of the teachers teach you as have mercy for everyone. In the same way, have mercy for yourselves and others. Pay full attention to steady and following Srimad. Reform your character. 2. Don't break your intellect's yoga away from the Father by gossiping among yourselves about useless, rotten things of the past. Do not perform any sinful acts. Stay in a remembrance and you remove the rest. Blessing me, you have the determinations to cultivate the fruit on the infertile land and become an embodiment of success in any situations. In order to become an embodiment of success, you need to have a gathering of determinations and love. These determinations enables a fruit to cultivate on unfertile land. Just as a scientist tried to grow fruit in the sand, in the same way you give the water of love with your power, silence, and become a fruitful. By having determinations, you can ignite the lamp of hope in those who are deserted. Because when you have courage, you receive the Father's help. Slogan constantly continue to move along while consider yourselves to be God's valuable property, and there will be a spirituality in your action. Signal now ignited the fire of love and make your yoga volcanic. To be a character means to be a soul's conscience, because each soul is character. Brahma become a number one by practicing this and achieving success. Therefore, follow the Father. The Father's enters the body and controls it. That is, he becomes the character. He doesn't depend on the body, and this is why he remains loving and detached. In the same way, all of you Brahman souls should maintain the stage of the character, like the Father. When you are the character of your body, you are naturally become a detached observer and remain immune to any effect of Maya in whatever you do, see, or hear. Acha, Om Shanti.